Hello friends, it's Kathy Clement with Kathy by Design. Welcome to Make and Take Tuesday. In this little weekly series, I introduce you to a new paper product, die, tool, technique, and we make something beautiful together. It is June here in North Carolina, and I am dreaming of the beach. And fortunately, Stamperia got inside my dreams and made this Blue Dream collection. You can see I've already started hacking it up. This is gorgeous. It's a Mediterranean beach collection as opposed to like an American beach collection. It is absolutely stunning. The colors, the images, the patterns, it is just a gorgeous, gorgeous collection. Even has kitty cats. How about that? Bougainvillea, beautiful old doors and outdoors dining by the sea. These beautiful tiles. Look at this. Very Mediterranean colors, lots of lemons. I know you guys like to see what's in the pictures, so I take my time. These beautiful stripes, more lemons and birds. More images, this beautiful old style banister, and then cut apart seashells, more tiles, and fussy cuts. So I got this in the 12 by 12 and the 8 by 8, and I also picked up some of their adhesive die cuts and die cut shapes. So what are we gonna make? Well, I thought we would go mixed media since this has a really fun Mediterranean feel. So I've created a 5 by 7 tea party in a box with a 3/4 inch spine. I've already done the inside. I've added this little kinetic waterfall. If you subscribe to my card kits at Button Farm Club, I show you how to do these quite often. They are really fun and they add so much to a card because now you can either write a little note on the back side of each card, or you can add a photo. So it turns it into a really beautiful gift. Plus, it's fun to play with. So there's that. That is not to be underestimated. All right. Then down here, I've made my box pocket. I've showed you how to do these dozens of times, so you can find these on my YouTube channel. Just go to my tutorials and you'll find them there. I've covered the back just to stabilize it. Then I went looking in my stash because I love these lemons, and I found some beautiful board, printed beautiful board from Reneabouquets. So we're going to be using these. This is one of her tags, one of her beautiful, beautiful tags. And then I have all these lemons that are drying. What I've done is use my Dries Clear adhesive and some of her fine pearl glass to add a little shimmer to my lemons. And then this is one of the die cut chip boards from the die cuts. And I got out my crackle texture paste, some rusty hinge, and it's really fun to do. You just rub the rusty hinge directly onto your surface. And then you come over it with your stencil and your palette knife and distress crackle. And the ink will actually bleed up through that opaque crackle. And it just adds a lot of dimension and aging to this arched window. Here I have a 5 by 7 panel of this Mediterranean blue with a 4 7/8 by 6 7/8 panel of a kind of a buttery cream, and then 4 5/8 by 6 5/8 from the 8 by 8 paper pad. And I cut the border off the top, and then I stitched this up on my sewing machine. Now, I don't know if you can see these little pencil marks. These are orientation marks for me because I want to create a window scene. And I've cut out from the 8 by 8 this little lighthouse and compass and shell. And it's got the little village in the background and a seagull. So I'm going to glue this down first. This is not going to be a shaker, although I thought about doing a shaker. But at the end of the day, I changed my mind about that. And the way I picked out the spot for this was I went ahead and set my archway in place where I wanted it to be. I've got foam tape on the back of my arch. And now this is going to go, I want this to go right here. Okay, just like that. And here is a larger Reneabouquets lemon branch, and it's going to come down over my window. I put foam tape on the back of this. I don't want to cover up all that beautiful sort of stucco treatment, old mortar treatment, but I do want to have these lemons. I want it to feel like you're looking out off of a terrace or something. So see, my lemons are going to come like this. And I don't want to cover up my lighthouse, but there you go. So now you have this sort of feeling like you're looking out a window. And you're going, well, but now you covered up the bird. Well, I figured that out too, so hang with me. You can see I've brushed the edges of these, just dry brushed the edges of these with a little ivory paint. I just wanted to kind of age everything a little bit. So I'm going to tuck this one down in our window. I just want to create a real feeling of dimension, like we're building a scene here, which is a fun thing to do. All right. And then this plant pot is going to sit just like this. Then I took this little bird, which is one of the, I think it's one of the adhesive die cuts. And see, I'm going to set him. Oops, it helps if you take the tape off. I'm going to set him right here. So he looks like he's thinking about diving into those lemons over there. All right, now I will tell you, some of your crackle pieces may fall off. And what I do when that happens is I just take my Dry's Clear, I pick up the chunk like here. Here's a little piece that fell off right here. I love how this looks. It gives it a real three-dimensional look. And I just set it down in the glue, and then it will stay there and it won't fall off again. But I love how rustic this window turned out. I'm really, really, really happy with that. So then I have, you'll have to pardon me today. I'm a little scattered. I'm multitasking. I'm learning how to make sourdough bread. I've been a bread baker for years and years and years. My mom baked bread. I grew up with homemade bread. And it's like second nature to make bread. But sourdough, I am finding, is an entirely different animal. So I've got sourdough rising. And I'm keeping an ear out for the timer. So if I disappear suddenly, you'll know that I've gone in to take care of that sourdough. Okay, so see how we've just created this beautiful curve, and now we've got this window scene. We can actually come in, she has these little, these are called lemon tuck-ins, and we can actually come in with some of these. Down toward the bottom. I think I want two on there actually. This like, oops, right in here. I know, I spent a lot of time on these little details, guys. I can't help myself. I try not to do this, but I cannot help myself. So there's our basic. I'm really happy with the way this looks. I've got this little chipboard butterfly And I'm gonna sit right up here like he's coming in for some nectar from this lemon blossom. There we go. That looks good. All right, let me go check my bread and I'll be right back. All right, so still working on just adding dimension and texture. And I took this large little birdie flower. This is an older, I don't think they make these anymore. And I cut it in half and I made it so it'll tuck underneath our leaves. Like this, okay? I'm just gonna kind of fan it out and I'll come in and probably add more glue. And then also along here. So I'm just creating sort of like a textured base for our flowers. All right, I've got these beautiful leaves. Oops. And I'm just gonna place these in so they almost look like the lemon vine is growing in both directions. But see, that gave me a platform back behind this for my flowers that I'm gonna add. And then I'm just gonna take this little piece here and put it in here, okay? So there we go. Then I'm gonna bring in some flowers. I don't think I'm going to be able to use these really big ones, but the smaller ones are good. So, okay, up here at the top, I'm going to want this dragonfly. Doesn't that just make everything come together beautifully? So I'm going to set him there so I don't forget him. And then I like to do smaller flowers at the top. I just think it looks a little more organic. So I'm going to cluster a few of these. These are old. I don't know that you can get these anymore, but maybe you have something in your stash that you can substitute. These are from way back when I first started working with Little Birdie in 2018. So I've had these a while. And I'm going to take my dragonfly. This is also from Reneabouquets, and her dragonflies are exquisite. And I like to lift the wings just a little. And I will link to all these products in on my blog, just like I always do. All right. Let's see. I thought I had smaller. Yeah, I do. So sometimes what I do is I just take these and I make them be buds. And I tuck them in where I want them to be. Ooh, I can almost feel the sea breeze. This is really pretty. All right, I don't think we need to add any more flowers. I'm just gonna look at this for a minute and think. I'm gonna take some of these little dropped petals and that came off the flowers that I cut. And I'm gonna add them down in here. keep asking myself, why is this little bird here? Well, it's because there's some bird seed. Why else would he be there? So this is mustard seed from the kitchen. That adds a fun bit of texture. I'm even going to put some down here underneath the ledge because I don't know about birds where you live, but where I live, birds are really messy. Okay. All right, guys, let's add the finishing touches to this cover. I've got this sweet little tile, and this is just a design tip. I want to create a triangle. You always want to try to create a triangle somewhere in your piece because it helps the eye travel from point to point and take in the entire thing. So I've got this little tile. Actually, I'm going to use this one. These are the die cuts, and I dry brushed these with a little of my ivory paint. I'm going to set this right here like that. Then I found this sweet little enamel charm and this blue button. I was going to do the button with the charm hanging down, but I think I hung my tile too low. I don't think that's going to work, and I don't want to lift this. So I think what I'm going to do is just rest my little enamel charm right here, like that. Then come in with my hot glue and glue my button down. These are really cool buttons. They're porcelain, and they just look so old world Mediterranean to me. I love them, and I keep them for special cards. I can't remember where I found them, but I'm always finding old buttons at estate sales and yard sales, and people give them to me. I love buttons. All right, guys. The last thing is the ribbon, and this is a organza Swiss dot. I think the color is buttermilk, and I'm not sure if Really Reasonable Ribbon carries this anymore, but I'm going to tuck that into my flower cluster because I love how organza always gives a project a really light, summery feel. And it also works really well for winter, depending on the color that you choose, because it can feel snowy. It's kind of cool stuff. I love organza. Also ties really poofy bows, which I like. So I'm just playing with this and getting it positioned the way I want it. And then I found this quatrefoil. This is a royal blue. And I wanted this pop of blue because this also figures into our triangle concept. So I'm just pressing this in place with the organza back behind it. And do you see how just that pop of blue, it makes the blue of the button, the blue of the dragonfly connect to this blue. So it's very beautiful. There we go. I think I've got that the way I want it now. Yeah, I love that. So what I might just do is scatter a few little blue sequins or something just to finish out the blue. I love the blue. And I think that's it. I think that finishes this. All right, my friends, I'm just going to finish up the inside. It's summertime, so it's a little hard to mail chocolate, and I try to find other things to put into these little tea party in a boxes. So I made this beautiful bookmark. This is vintage jewelry. It's really cool, vintage costume jewelry. That's a bookmark. And then I made this beautiful little tag. And this is made with that Reneabouquets tag. And the little lemon pieces fit in. So easy to make. So that's a lovely little piece. And then, of course, a tea wallet. Little room to write a note inside, which is always nice. And then this slides in like this. Then a Biscoff cookie all wrapped up. And this is a really cool little honey spoon. It's raw natural honey, and then a little vintage demi-tasse spoon to go in there. So it's a really nice little gift. These make beautiful, beautiful gifts. And all we have to do now is put our cover on. This is always such an amazing moment. I love how it all comes together when you see all the layers, all the bits. So pretty. Then I always have to come back and clean off glue webs. That's the final step. But there we go. I love this. It's like taking a vacation on paper. All right, guys, that's it for me, Kathy Clement, Kathy by Design. Happy Make and Take Tuesday. I'm going to clean up my mess. Go get your craft on. Bye.